hello. Welcome everyone to another Art of War paint stream. I'm John Lennon. This is Richard Siegler. We're here to paint, talk shop, complain about Nick, maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
No, we're just here to talk and here to hang out and hobby. Hope everyone's doing well today.
Anybody working on any fun hobby projects?
That is always what I want to know.
John, what are you working on?
I'm working yet again on my Dark Angel Terminators, hoping to finish out all 10 of my shooting Terminator arms this fine afternoon. I'm getting ready for the Dark Angels game in the Stream House RTT.
Is this why you magnetize?
This is why you magnetize, folks. Magnetize everything. If you've ever played Tyranids, you should know. Magnetize everything. If you ever played Space Marines, start magnetizing everything. Everything needs a magnet. Go ahead, just get it done. There's too many options, and GW likes to change it. Let's see.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome everyone to the chat.
I'm going to be working on this Archaeopter Fuselage.
Archaeopter Fuselage? Number 3?
3.
Why on earth would anyone need 3 of Archaeopter Fuselages?
Because they are one of the best flyers in the game, if not the best.
Okay, but other than that,
Other than that. They look cool.
They do look pretty cool. You know what? That's a good argument right there. You perhaps using these coming up soon?
I'm going to be using them tomorrow on stream against Mark Perry's Chaos Soup.
Soup. I'm very excited for that.
I'm putting a little Xandri dust on this wing.
Mm-hmm. What do you got any predictions for tomorrow's game? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I think have some really good screening options. Noise Marines are always scary, but when they're committed, they're pretty much dead after that. And Mark doesn't have amazing tools to kill the different flyers that I have. So on a turn where I just commit all the flyers and the shooting, it's going to be tough for him to deal with all those different threats. And I have 2 units of Corpuscari Priests. I've got the Fulgurites. I've got the sweet reroll wounds from the Metallic Lung if Morty ever gets close. So I got a lot of options there.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, because what you just suggested is putting an aura right next to Mortarion. What is doesn't like Mortarion's anti-aura thing like? How does that?
Isn't that an aura, right?
His like he like shuts off auras.
Isn't it an aura though?
Yeah.
The bombers shut off auras.
Dun dun dun.
That's how it works, John.
Oh my goodness, the magnitude of these plays.
It shut off enemy auras, so it doesn't shut off my own.
Absolutely, I would describe that as diabolical. I don't know what everyone else is thinking.
You turn off auras, I turn them off.
Yeah.
I turn you off.
Yep.
So reroll wounds really helps against something as tough as Mortarion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're gonna kill that guy, that feels pretty much necessary.
But you can also just plink away at the last cannons for a little while. See if you can do a decent amount. A couple get through. Mm-hmm. Now he's at half health. Now you don't need to commit your whole army to try and take him down.
Exactly.
So I'll try and do the plink damage with the last cannons when I can. But overall, I plan to prioritize getting rid of those pesky Noise Marines when they come out of the Rhino.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you do have a lot of tools for taking care of them.
Oh, wow, lots and lots of questions. Let's see what we got. Just working on my second Tesseract Vault. No, Corey, not the Tesseract Vault.
Tesseract Vault?
The double Tesseract.
The double vault?
The double vault list.
Absolute madman.
Corey is crushing everybody with double vault. They spam mortal wounds. They do that for sure.
They do that.
And maybe if you play in a meta where there's not a lot of anti-tank, maybe it's more of a horde-based meta.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Tyranid players, Orc players, etc.
You know what? Maybe that's the Dark Elder answer that we have all been waiting for.
That's the answer.
You never know.
Well, we haven't really seen many Drukari players taking much Haywire, though. The new updated Haywire.
Exactly. So it's like actually might not be the worst.
Hey guys, is it okay to complain about the last Tau turn yesterday?
It depends. What's the complaint?
I'm not sure. But let me know what you thought. Just built 20 racks in the past hour and a half. I'm speed building.
Oh, who is doing something so heinous?
How many liquefiers? Is it all of them?
As many as you
20.
That sounds to me like 8 liquefiers. That's what I'm hearing. Or as many as possible. Also an acceptable answer.
I feel like that's up there for the FAQ treatment, but we've seen how long it's taken these to come, so you're gonna at least get to use use all your Drukari tricks for quite a while.
Yeah, that's
that's
the
unfortunate.
Dark Angels FAQ took 7 weeks.
And it was basically nothing in there.
And there was nothing
John
in
and I
there.
could have sat down over some, nice lemonade and just
Maybe a bowl of goldfish. You gotta get some snacks if you're gonna be doing hungry work like that.
Knock out those FAQs, no problem. That's why we get paid the big bucks.
Right.
Hey guys, working on 60 Poxwalkers. Also have a rules question for John, the Lord of Rules.
Ooh.
Where is your rules question?
You know what? I'm here for it. I would bet it hasn't been asked yet, but throw it at me.
There it is.
There it is?
For Assassinate, if you kill a character such as Sister's character, but they command point revive it, do you still get 3 points for killing that character?
Only if you get him a second time. You do not get it if you killed him and they stand back. Up because all of those stratagems have a wording that is instead of being destroyed.
Yeah. So they're never
Necrons have some similar shenaniganry. But yeah, they have to actually die to get points. Permanently. Makes it quite tricky. Those Sisters players are nasty.
Notice that no one's playing Necrons in the tournament. Did Necrons fall off tier 1 already? I think they need to experiment with different builds.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And I just didn't have time to play any new style Necrons.
And that is the exact reason I didn't bring Tyranids to the Streamhouse RTT.
Yeah, there's options in there.
Yeah, I don't think Tyranids are dead. I just think that what I was doing is going to radically change with the introduction of Dark Eldar, and I didn't really want to play old meta.
Which is fair.
Even though I think I could win some games with that list, I think it's a very good army. I just think that there's an inevitable wall that I'm running into. Just when do I hit it?
Yep.
And I wanted this to represent things I might take to a tournament, not which I just wouldn't do the current tune build right now. But we're going to be playtesting. I've already been playtesting, and we're going to figure out an answer to that little problem.
What in this meta made you move away from Novak Silent King build? What would it take for it to come back? So big thing is there's a lot of access to fight first and fight last. That's a big detriment to the Silent King because his whole thing is you get to engage with the Silent King in one place and then activate somewhere else. That doesn't really work when armies like Drukari have fight first all over the place.
Yep.
Or they have access to multiple versions of fight last and minus leadership. So even though Necrons are very high leadership overall, once you start adding -2, -3, it's possible for the Incubi to then make the Silent King fight last. He makes the other stuff fight last, but they activate first because of the rare rules interaction.
It can be quite nasty.
So that means it's not really reliable that you're winning 2 engagements at once. The other thing is a lot of the new armies that have come out, like Death Guard and Dark Angels, or also the Drukari, they can do a lot of mortals in different phases, or they have obscene volume of fire, like 3 Talon Masters, Dark Talons. You're just going to pick up 20 Necron Warriors. It's not really durable enough anymore.
Yeah.
So as we've seen these new books
Who would
coming
bring all of these third painted Talon Master?
So that's made me shift away from the Silent King, even though I love the model and think he's one of the coolest.
That model. He's alright. I mean, he's a king, but...
He's the king.
Richard knew that his days were numbered. He was about to be dethroned. I was going to finally kill the gosh darn Silent King with an average amount of shooting. And it's just... He wasn't going to stick around for it. No? That's totally
not an average amount of shooting.
Never a mathematical amount of shooting to kill the Silent King. No.
He just makes 4-ups. That's what he does.
That's true. He does. I'm going to just wound that Menhir. Dang it.
You did 2 wounds to Menhir. This feels amazing. What would it take for him to come back? I think, it's probably going to take Necrons getting points drops in the next big chapter approved. I think that's what's most likely going to happen. Necrons don't have any broken rules, and all their stuff is kind of, in comparison to what we've seen, starting with Dark Angels, they have a lot of overcosted things, especially their shooting.
Yeah.
I think once they get reevaluated, I don't think anything Necrons have is going to get nerfed, so they're going to be in a solid place, and his points drops will help bring them back toward the median, because they have great traits, they have very good 1 CP strats. Maybe we'll see something with the Reanimator become even cheaper, and that'll help bring back things like 20-man warrior bricks. So I think it's really points decreases that are going to help bring back that style.
What about points increases on other armies? If
it's possible, but I feel like that's
so for.
Yeah, that's a long ways away.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I feel another short update like they did in January is more possible, and in that case you get random points drops here and there.
So I remember when 8th edition they did this in like January and then like April, but haven't really announced anything for April, so I don't know
Big
if that'll be a
FAQs.
thing. Yeah.
I doubt it. Just because we also got to the point where all the codexes were out, or most of them, and so it was refining the game. Right now, it's still big shakeups.
Defining the game. Yeah, that's true. We will see when that might come in.
Do you think the Void Dragon's going to be coming into the meta more with Drukari and Admech coming? No, both those armies just kill Catan. Doesn't matter that they can heal back. They actually kill them quick enough.
Yeah, they can just do 9 wounds in one turn.
Yep.
A lot of the like movement and charge phase mortal wound sources in Drukari.
Yep.
Although also it has to be said, Nick isn't really taking any of those in his lists.
That is true. So if we start seeing the Drukari meta doesn't really take those, but is spamming a lot of Raiders or Venoms, then he would definitely be in consideration in the triple Catan list.
Yeah, I think that would be the
Catan.
scenario where you really look at him.
But I would worry about Admech.
That's true.
They just do it from range. And with the flyers.
Ugh, those pesky
The
flyers.
flyers are just the death sentence for Catan.
Yeah, just like bombs.
Oops, you're a monster. Be a shame if I just do 3 mortals right here with 1 flyer.
No, thank you.
But then Admech also have auto explode. Like they can do mortals in so many different phases. Fulgurite's on the charge, then in combat. It's just bad news. I think Admech is going to be tough for triple Catan unless they lose a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I would agree there.
And you don't want to go in with a relatively popular, powerful army being just an awful matchup.
Yeah,
If
Admech
you're
I
trying to win an
anticipate
event.
will be quite popular when they get their codex, which they haven't announced a pre-order date on yet. I'm obviously hoping for sooner than later, just because I like knowing things. But I guess like the earliest that it could pre-order would be what is today, the 7th?
Yeah.
So it won't pre-order on the 10th. I guess it might pre-order on the 17th for release on the 24th.
They could. That seems the most likely. They've been going for this end of the month type thing.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. We'll see if that actually pans out.
I just want to know what this Marshal does.
Ah, yes, the Skitari Marshal.
Looks very cool.
I want to know how many points Palatine is, but I'm waiting a lot longer than I was expecting.
That's the simple stuff I wish they would just... Here's a really quick document. Done.
Yeah. I would imagine that since they haven't done that, it's because that there's sister stuff coming soon anyway.
Yeah.
And they're just folding it all together.
Yep.
That would be what makes sense to me.
Archaeoraptors, the Archaeostratoraptors looking spicy with all the buffs to Cognis Last Cannons and heavy Phosphor Blasters. Does this mean damage to Castlin robots? It could very well mean that. I genuinely hope they don't get more expensive because they're already very pricey per model.
Yeah.
And I imagine they lose double shooting though.
I would bet on that.
Yeah. I would rather they get extra extra mobility options instead of extra damage, or they get more defense.
Yeah, plenty of options there.
Yeah, I don't think Admech needs just even more crazy shooting.
I think all of the recent codexes that have not been like, other than like Space Marines, which were of course we just released this codex, so it's a little less of a change. They've all just been complete overhauls of what the army does. So I think trying to translate current new stats into current books, I just don't think there's a point. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what that looks like, but right now I just don't think we can practically predict anything. Just because there's just too many unknown factors. Yeah. Too many variables.
I mean, Necrons themselves transformed wholly from a shooting army to a melee army.
And Dark Eldar wholly transformed as well. And, Death Guard, their identity stayed the same, but their roles just completely flipped. Yeah. Where is my... Is there a red contrast flip? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you left it in my pile.
That's probably true. I sat there last paint stream to man the computer. And that means this is mine as well. Just slapping a little bit of yield contrast paint onto my wonderful Terminators. Just spice them up a little bit, You got to keep your Terminators spicy. Those are the rules.
Maybe I got misunderstood with my last comment. Was looking forward to the Tau victory, but the rolls in the last turns made it fall apart quickly. It was brutal. It happens every time against Sisters. Models just live with a wound, or an extra model lives, and it's a squad that I needed to kill.
Yeah.
And the problem was it happened 2 turns in a row. Turn 3, it was bad, but I still felt I could recover from there, and then turn 4 went totally awful.
Yep. Yeah, turn 4 just didn't Didn't quite
because I was
balance.
on target to give Nick a 5 on primary, period. That's all he gets, 5. Instead, he got 15 there. And then I lost 2 of the Wally stands.
Curse those Repentia.
So.
It was still a very entertaining game. You know, those RTT games.
Like, I was in that too. I could have won that game.
Absolutely. You were in it until like end of turn 4, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just goes. Sisters have. I mean, they're one of the top 3 books in the game, and
Absolutely.
they have some of the best rules. I think Miracle Dice is the best army-wide mechanic in the game.
Yeah, it's really got to be up there.
Yeah, it is certainly top 3.
Mm-hmm. Easily, yeah.
So, like, Tau is none of that.
No.
They have good 1 CP strats, and they have some powerful synergies, but they're missing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I can still make that a game, though, shows there's power there.
Absolutely, yeah. Tau definitely still have potential.
John, if attack bikes didn't exist, what would you use in their place? Eradicators?
Actually, in some chapters, I'm not opposed to Eradicators, but only their heavier weapons. I don't like the generic Melter Rifle. That's very specific chapters. Basically, Ultramarines, if I'm being honest. Ultramarines are the main one. Other than that, I really am a fan of just Inceptors, Volkite Dreadnoughts. You know what? Honestly, my Ultramarines, I'm actually considering suppressors right now. They're thinking of getting back in there. I know. I wrote a list. Did you happen to return all those suppressors to Warpfire?
I did.
I'm gonna end up buying them back from Warpfire. That's silly. Should have just reached over and pulled them out. I only have 6 suppressors, but I will probably keep an eye. I'll probably
I just traded in 12.
Yep. Well, you don't need 12, Richard.
I don't need 12.
So maybe I'll pull 3.
I just had those extra Vanguard start collecting boxes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think I might sneak 3 more just so I've got a clean 9. Seems like the right number to own.
Warpfire Minis is gonna have them.
That's true. Warpfire Minis. They have what I need.
They had John's Solo Exorcist. They had his Eradicators.
Mm-hmm. They got my Redemptors.
Well, that's the great thing about them is that they...
Shameless pitch time. Do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are our friends, and they're just very good people. And excellent company.
We chose our sponsors for a reason.
Their hosts, they have the entire stock of Games Workshop. I have seen it. Age of Sigmar and 40K. As soon as the stuff comes back in Games Workshop, they buy a bunch of stock. So they have Crew Talks Riders. They have all the random stuff, all the Finecast stuff, as well as the entire plastic line. So it's if you want stuff and they ship next day, you get it. Or 5 days. Like, can't beat it. Then the trade-in program. So if you have any old crap minis,
oh, that's the good stuff right there.
got all those miniatures that
Archaeopter.
Nick touched at a tournament one time.
Bert knocked off of a...
Yep.
If Nick Nanavati has ever knocked your models off of a table during a game, you may be entitled to trade it into Warpfire.
Yep. Call Lennon and Siegler.
Call Lennon and Siegler sons. Brother captains-in-law.
Brother captains-in-law.
Brother captains-in-law. We need to make this an actual ad.
This should be a shirt.
This should be a shirt.
Signed up for the Atlantic City Open. Will there be more Eldari shenanigans?
You know what? I would expect Eldari shenanigans.
Oh, Matt is going to be there with Eldari shenanigans.
Ooh,
that's
even worse.
Matt, don't do this to us. Come on now.
Matt.
We don't want to see any Eldari shenanigans.
No, absolutely
no one does. But it'll be great to see you there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rich, love the game versus Nick. Why did you decide to bring Tau to the RTT when they are struggling so much in 9th edition? They are struggling, but they actually have some good matchups, frankly.
It's about sending a message.
It's also about sending a message. Gotta have some good quotes. But really, I think they actually have some powerful matchups and favorable ones into some of the best armies. Like my Silent King build, I think that Tau list just annihilates it.
Yeah.
The Airburst units just like,
it would be very good.
You got 20 warriors, they're dead. They're all dead.
The blast weapons.
Pick them all up.
Silent
King, he can't step out while the Ion Tide is going crazy. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, you have just the amount of mission playing tools in the list, which I really like.
Yeah.
I think it has a reasonable matchup into Drukari because of the Remoras. Since they're airborne, Drukari actually doesn't have a lot of charging targets that have fly keyword. And so the move block potential there, plus like a grab drone hiding behind to prevent really long charges, I think there's a lot of defense there to keep the airburst unit firing every turn. Mm-hmm. And as you saw, that it can do a lot of damage very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think into armies
I was really hoping the Tau would draw the Drukari turn 1. That would have just made my life a little bit easier.
Yeah. But even against armies like we're seeing, all these Poxwalkers, the Airburst unit just picks that stuff up, no problem. So
absolutely. But,
I think there's some good matchups for it. I think Sisters is probably the hardest matchup.
It's definitely. I don't know if it's the hardest, but it's definitely a difficult one. I mean, Sisters is just a very good army in general.
Yeah, I'd say that and the really mobile OBSEC White Scars build would be probably the hardest matchups for it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
But we're not seeing as many of those Marine armies because Drukari just does it better.
Yep,
for cheaper.
That is a real thing right there.
I don't know. I think it actually is good in the meta. And hopefully Tau will eventually get some buffs.
Yeah, and also, bottom line, it was able to, play a really close game into a very good Sisters army. I mean, Nick literally won a GT with that army, and that was still very much a winnable game for you right to the end.
Exactly. So.
And also, he was playing Tau, so you kind of get some style points there.
Yeah.
Low risk, high reward. Like what, you lose with Tau, but if you beat the Sisters with Tau...
I felt on the bottom side of the bracket, I actually had good matchups. If I got past the Sisters.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't particularly... I'm hoping that my Custodians and Dreadnoughts can make it past the Death Guard next Tuesday. And if they did, I would rather play the Sisters than the Tau. I wanted nothing to do with Richard's Tau, to be honest with you. I was like, oh man, I know it's Tau, but I'm not really...
It's annoying.
I don't really want it. Yeah, it was gonna... I could win. Yeah. But it was gonna be annoying.
It's all this -1 to hit stuff all over the place for ignoring AP2, so the Manticores have to shoot at stuff you don't want to shoot at.
Yeah, I go for Devilfish at that point. It's someone needs to do this.
Breachers on the objectives.
Yeah, it would have been a pain in the butt. There's no arguments about that.
I will continue playing a variations list. I think I actually go to pure Farsight Enclaves and save the extra CP.
Yeah, the Viola Breachers, I've seen them shoot twice 3 times, and it just...
They've rolled absolute garbage both times.
I think you're shooting twice too often, maybe?
I only did it once per game, and it was I need to make sure I kill these 2 OBSEC units.
I get it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is I think unless you guarantee you're going to get 5 Markolites on a target, the problem there is you probably kill that first one.
You have to have so many Markolites.
Yeah, then Markolites are awful. So
yeah,
I'd rather just pump all those CP into the Airburst unit.
I get it.
And go from there. So
yeah, it's fair.
And just have the small OBSEC breacher units contesting objectives.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
let's see.
But I hope people enjoy the repulsor impact fields. Nick did not see that one coming. Nope, it's only 4 or 5 Zephyr now.
Surprise.
Praying Admech gets delayed till after the Atlantic City Open submission date.
Doubt
that. When is that? Is it in May?
It's
sometime?
in late May.
Yeah.
Admech's coming out in April. I don't see that one happening.
It could be before the next book comes out, but still.
It's true. Yeah, we don't know what is Well, we don't. I mean, I'm assuming it's Sisters, but they haven't actually said anything.
It's got to be Sisters. I think with the amount of models that they put out,
and that would make the most sense. But what are the odds that GW does what makes most sense?
All of a sudden, it's just some random fact. All of a sudden, Tyranids get a book.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, Richard.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see Tyranids get a book.
Me too.
It feels like them and Tower are pretty unloved right now.
Mm-hmm, yeah. The Democarons, it was fun though.
At least you got a Forge World update.
We did get the fun Forge World stuff.
Do fly units suffer the movement penalty of difficult terrain when charging?
Negative.
Nope. They do not. One of the most powerful reasons to have just fly charging units.
Absolutely.
Terrain dense boards. Do we know the new Sisters character's point cost yet?
Nope.
No. For some reason, that was not included, even though that's pretty essential.
Yep, that is.
Playing the model.
Also power level 0, according to the GW app. Love that for her.
So she's going to be free. So just...
Yep, she is 0 points on the GW app right now. Which is...
Tournament. Not tournament legal, but...
yeah, probably not.
I don't know any tournament that is that's going to allow that.
Yeah.
Let's see, looking at the Metallic update, a lot of the items are for close range. Some of the sheets like call or short range, so maybe they were moving Admech to a short range shooting army. Maybe, but I feel like Tau fits into that so naturally. Tau really is a mid to short range shooting army.
Yeah, I mean, they can have 2 different armies that fill that role. Just, how they do it, like auxiliaries versus like weird archaeotech. Give them each some flair.
Yeah. I just like to see Admech's playstyles fleshed out. where you could really run a more melee heavy army.
Yeah.
And still be fine. Or you can run your shooting army and have some mobile Skitarii.
As long as Admech are weird, I'm happy. Just keep Admech weird.
How would you categorize the new Drukari in terms of playstyle?
Oh, man.
MSU, fast, hard-hitting.
MSU hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of tricks.
Fast, hard-hitting MSU.
They trade up efficiently.
They're very, yeah.
They just 80-point Incubi unit goes in, kills a unit that's...
Yeah, and most MSU armies are trying to do that, but man, Drukari
they're cheaper
set
than
the
the
standard.
others.
Yeah, they set the
And
standard.
I agree the mechanic of having the number in the dice that you need exactly when you need it is awesome. It is cool. I think I'm just saying it's very powerful. Yep. I think it's one of the best army-wide traits.
Yeah. I don't want Sisters to lose it, but it's definitely good. I like Miracle Dice. Mostly because I really like making my charges. That's just me, though, as a Jinx Thurkelt player. It's like, would you rather spend 3 command points and upgrade character and, maybe a 4th command point to probably make the charge, or would you like to make the charge? Yeah, I'll play Sisters.
I'll make the charge.
I'll play Sisters, it's okay. Say no more, GW.
Should I buy Tartarus or Cataphractii Terminators to use as my relic squad?
Ooh. So I think that depends on what chapter you're going for, because the weapon loadouts are pretty identical, but this is just an aesthetic choice, if I'm being honest. I think the only difference that I'm aware of model-wise is that the Tartarus comes with a Volkite, it comes with a Plasma Blaster for the Sergeant, but that's not a warrior choice that you're probably going to be exploring.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I'm being honest, I just prefer the Stormbolter for less points. However, it's just a really cool kit either way. I think if you're going like a more defensive-minded chapter, like Iron Hands or Salamanders or Imperial Fists, I'd go Cataphractii. But if you're maybe doing like White Scars or Dark Angels, or where like, there's some notorious speed elements in the army, then I think Tartarus just looks a little slimmer. I chose Tartarus here because I also use the Forge World Evan Kashig Terminators, and I want them to all have the same mark of armor. Yeah. But like if I was doing like Imperial Fist ones, I'd probably do Cataphractii because like they come with, like they have a Cataphractii kit that's really badass looking at it. It's Power Fist and Storm Shield, which I think is highly underrated. So that just looks awesome, and I wish I could take that in game.
Yeah.
I would love that. Power Fist, Storm Shield, sign me up. That's
just
awesome.
Storm Shield, John. We know you.
Yeah, I just want the Storm Shield.
You just want the Storm
Shield and Stormbolter.
It doesn't matter what else is there.
Hey, there are no Storm Shields in this Terminator unit. There are 2 Storm Shields in the Dark Angel list. Like only 2. Like what? Barely even counts.
Nick was certainly surprised.
He was. I intend to take him by surprise, because Nick thinks that this is my old Dark Angel list, and it just isn't. That's okay. We're gonna take it by surprise, folks.
I'm about to send Warpfire a boatload of old models this weekend. Glad to hear that, Andrew. They are gonna take great care of you.
Absolutely, they will. They are
So
fantastic.
many times.
It's just such a good program that they run.
Pretty essential for a competitive player, especially if you want to switch to the meta armies.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing else to say there. It is just value. Value town.
Sieg's Tau represent. Sieg said, Airburst go burr. They do go burr. They do the damage.
This is why I didn't like. I have like Telemons, and I was still like, I don't really want to get shot by this Tau army. Like
it's because I have reroll wounds in like 3 different ways.
Yeah, like I can shut it off, but it's 1 CP for you and 2 for me, and that just doesn't add up.
The trading, yeah.
Long term, it's not ideal for John. One of these guys. There he is. Just doing all my detail work on these Terminator squads. I want them to be nice and pretty, so that I can table some Drukari with them.
Custodians need a little Tech Marine following them around. That's what I want.
Would you rather have a Tech Marine or Apothecary?
Well, I think the Apothecary for Marines is silly.
I think that the Engine Seer for Admech should be able to fix any Imperium.
Yeah, not just Call.
Yeah.
Call should be able to do a flat 3 heal.
Yeah, like I think he'll D3 on, and I think all of I think every Admech character should heal D3 on an Admech model or 1 on an Imperium vehicle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just like...
And then Call gets to heal any Imperium unit.
Any
That's
vehicle.
what he does. No, he can heal any model.
I
heal
know.
Drago.
I just
Come on, he can heal Drago.
He should not heal. You have an apothecary for that. He shouldn't heal Guilliman. Like let's just look.
He did heal Guilliman.
No, he didn't. Your Rain did that, and I'm not putting her in my army.
You like your Rain too much.
No, I don't. She's a heretic. We do not tolerate elves. No elves.
Opinion on the Demolisher in a Raven Guard successors list. Those are terms.
The Demolisher?
Yep. I think the Vindicator.
Oh, the Vindicator.
A word we don't hear often.
A word we do not hear often. I don't think any of the old Marine vehicles bring enough right now because they just don't get rerolls and none of them have as many guns as the new stuff. We're like it's just D6 shots. I mean, they're good shots, but like it's not that much better than the plasma cannon on a Redemptor. But the Redemptor is more wounds, -1 damage, and has 15 other bullets strapped to his back. It's just the old manlet tanks feel really bad right now to me. So you can make anything work, frankly, by virtue of I'm Marines, and you know what? Master Artisans can help mitigate these weaknesses, but they do exist, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's enough to make me not really want to take them.
What does Raven Guard bring to the Vindicators?
Theoretically, +1 to hit and wound character, but that's an unreliable way of dealing damage.
Can they use the forward deploy or anything like that?
No, it's infantry only. So not as much being done there, honestly. Master Artisans is just the most obvious thing I can think of, but nothing really saves you from rolling a 1 a number of shots.
Nope, I do it all the time.
Experienced that pain? Yeah.
I do it all the time.
That's true. If I feel no pains for Richard, no problem. Number of shots?
Yeah, not really happening.
No guarantee, no promises.
I've tried it with many units.
Yeah. We've all got our things, and we all have things that are not our things. That's just the place that you should be putting your energy.
What's not your thing?
What is it? I mean, insert killing 1 scout joke.
I was right there with you, but not killing the Repentia model. I needed to die.
It's like, oh, crap.
Well, there's no answer.
It's one thing when they make saves. It's another when you don't wound them. So it's like,
all those 2s. Somebody mentioned it. I went back in the comments. Somebody saw all the 2s. There's like 8 2s to wound.
Yeah, there were many 2s.
There were too
many 2s.
Please. Not today. As a Tau player, I'm feeling like they are better in lower point games. Do you feel this is accurate? I actually think Tau is better in higher point games.
Oh.
Tau is an army that the more things you add on, the stronger everything else gets. The more marker lights that you have, the more random nonsense units that you have floating around the board, it's harder for them to deal with the core of your army. Like the more commanders that you can throw in, all that stuff is just great. I feel like Tau is quite strong in the higher point games. Like if 3,000 was the standard.
Perish the thought.
Just the amount of nonsense you could run with Tau.
I mean, think of how much nonsense Drukari would have, though. Like, yeah. I don't even want to think about that. Never-ending nonsense. All right, so let's see.
But I think at low points, you really are cutting a lot. Because you don't have those like extra safety net units, like the Remoras.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. We've got plenty of time.
Well, 1 against Death Guard, Dark Eldar, and Chaos Soup this week using 3 Tesseract Arcs and 3 Barges, 2 Doom Sights this week after Richard's suggestion of the Arcs. Worked very well with Purge of the Vermin. I could definitely see that working well.
Yeah, we need to find some Tesseract Arcs. If anyone has
trying.
any that they would like to sell us, send us a message.
They're trying.
As we're actively telling you to run them, if you decide to ignore our advice, please sell them to us. Let's see, I'm trying to pull some
I don't have enough
trading magic. I know some Necron players.
I don't have enough command barges to run them as Tesseract Arcs.
Nah, sadly. It's not a particularly easy conversion either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's the other thing I was looking at. It's just it would be too much effort, I think.
I'd have to just buy some command barges and strap a bunch of guns on them.
I mean, sounds fun to me. Alright, dry brush time. Go Barb Terror Duel. I don't know if this Barb Terror Duel is ever going to see the table again, but I want him on the wall, so we're going to finish painting.
He looks cool.
It's a cool looking model. For how old the sculpt is, it is aged majestically.
Don't know why people act like the Palatine cost us a mistake. Clearly, GW realized that sisters need a buff.
Exactly. Thank you.
0-point characters, new meta.
That's what I needed. I will take a second attachment just to have 3 of them.
How do you rate Reaver jet bikes for Drukari equipped with triple heat lance?
Heat lances are hard because they're heavy weapons, and both the flyby strat and power from pain really incentivizes you to advance, and the fact that you have an automatic 8-inch advance. So it's hard for me to spend points on things that I will not use when I'm using all my special rules. It's like the Daleth problem. It's a very strong gun. Especially when you like give the unit +1 to hit with its combat drug, which is pretty good. Because then it becomes ballistic skill 2. Very, very solid. So I'm not opposed. Just I don't think it's quite worth the investment compared to some other units, but it's still pretty darn good. They are still just so fast, and I guess like when you need to advance and charge, you can just do that, and you've only spent like 30 extra points on the heat lances. So maybe good to just have a unit that can perform multiple roles.
Yeah. Nice little
the thing is that there's a ton of great stuff in the Drukari book, so it's hard to justify taking good units. So it's like, yes, this is a solid unit that I would really consider in almost every codex, but it's not as good as, taking 15 Incubi or 2 units of 10 Hellions or whatever you have personally been having success with Dark Eldar. But it's definitely a good option. I wouldn't even blink if I saw that in a competitive list. Like, yep, this is good enough to be there. Sometimes you see things where you like double take and you're like, all right, what's the plan? Like if I walked up to the table against Richard at a tournament and I see his Talos, there's an Airburst unit, there's Riptide, there's 3 Krutox Riders. That's the point where I'm like, wait, let me just double. Why is this here? Like, I'm not surprised if I see Reavers with
you. It's the 6-inch heroic, John.
Do they actually?
Yeah.
No!
The Krutox Riders.
I'm doing it, folks.
6-inch heroics, John.
All right, new bet. I'm playing Tau now. I'm playing Tau into Nick's Dark Eldar. This is gonna happen.
Here comes the Agile Brutes.
Comes the Agile Brutes. Wouldn't take the Gene Still called that. Incredible.
You're living in Nick's mind.
It's good to be left.
White Scar's list question. What do you think of the 2 Relic Contemptors with double Volkites, 6 attack bikes, or should I replace the bikes with Inceptors?
I think that the attack bikes are still very viable in White Scars. They're a little bit fragile, which has me nervous. So I'm definitely thinking about removing them. I'm actually finalizing a list for tomorrow with my White Scars that may not include them. I'm actually probably going to have that Relic Contemptor Dreadnought in my White Scars list. That will be tomorrow in the War Room, White Scars versus Drukari. I've got that list I've got 2 different 2K lists, and I'm kind of waffling between them. And I'll probably pull the trigger on one of them later this afternoon. And we'll just kind of roll from there.
Who in the house is going to be making Drukari one of their main armies?
Definitely Nick. 100% Nick. I don't anticipate making Drukari one of my main armies, but I'm considering playing it at a tournament soon. But I don't anticipate being with Drukari for long. It would be more of a 1-month fling, if anything.
Yeah, I don't particularly like playing the armies that just have better rules than everybody else. It's not really fun.
I don't either, but I really don't like playing the armies that have worse rules than
I find
tough balance to strike.
I find the challenge of playing the quote-unquote underpowered armies much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like playing Leviathan at LVO. Yeah, I won the event, but that was a boring event.
Yeah,
just like every game I walk in, you really can't do anything about this. Guess I'll just max my points, win this game. It's just so boring compared to playing the Tau game where I had to just be super precise and on point every single turn.
Yep.
So I prefer the complexity of some of the harder armies to play. Do you reckon we'll see Kroot Vespid units become actually decent in the next codex?
They will not be worse. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to promise that they'll be better, but they cannot be worse.
Hard to make them worse. I think Vespid are very close to being decent.
That's true. You could make Vespid worse.
I think what they need to do is change the strat to put it on their data sheet. The turn they come in, they get full rerolls to hit, and then give them something else.
Strat
as a strat wins. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Because decent profile, they're reasonably cheap, they're fast. Durability's okay, but they're still pretty cheap.
Do they benefit from marker lights?
Yeah, any Tau unit can benefit from
Okay, so Kroot can?
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for
It's
that.
not. Marker Lights aren't set blocked or anything.
Okay.
Or Tau Empire locked.
Gotcha.
Well, they are Tau Empire units. It's the set that they don't have.
Okay.
So that would be if Marker Lights were. I'm surprised Marker Lights aren't set blocked. Almost everything is set blocked in Tau. They put so many restrictions.
Marker Lights aren't though.
Yeah. It's a bunch of lights on a unit.
Well, what color
this
are the
is
lights?
different. Yeah, this is the Farsight Enclaves use red lights. Viorla uses a white light. It's like no. Will Warpfire minis take even damaged models? Depends on how damaged they are. If there's like bits that are broken off, yes. If it's like a crushed rhino, maybe
so
not.
You melted a rhino, you left it in your car in South Florida for a month. No promises.
But they're open to a lot of things. They won't give you nearly as much credit as you get for a normal thing like this Archaeoraptor Fuselage or these Terminators John's painting. But you could still get some value. So what you do is go ahead and send them an email, what you're trying to trade in, just a list of all the things, and then the condition, and then shoot them some pictures, and they will get you back to you with a quote. Are broadsides and airburst just the main go-to at the moment for playing Tau? I personally don't like broadsides. I much prefer the ion tide. The Magna rail rifles are solid. They're because they got a nice points drop in January. The problem is the mobility of the unit. And then once they're out there, they don't have the trick that I use with the Riptide, where I move it 2d6 in the charge phase to bring it back behind terrain. So the broadsides are just there, and they're going to take all your drones to keep them alive. And I don't want to do that. I want the drones for board control, engage points, screening, and then protecting the airburst unit when I need to. So I don't want to have to do that all on the broadsides just to keep them alive. And it's not that many. It's 2 shots each, 6 shots total. I'd rather just have the flat 6 from the Riptide, have his extra mobility and defense, and let him play the kind of linebacker role in the backfield.
Yeah, very solid there.
So I don't think the broadsides are as good as they're okay. They're definitely not bad, but I think they have too many limitations. Also, them being wrapped is not what you want, because I'm not desperate breaking out the broadsides.
Oh.
They really need to be able to shoot into combat.
Over vehicles, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be a strat where they can use the big
or even
ones
strat, just something.
Yeah.
But those units that don't actually have the good keywords that are kind of just out there, they're units that are just battlesuit. That actually isn't enough. So hopefully they can get
it's a much brighter Heraldry there.
What is the best alternative to Plasma Inceptors with longer range?
Hellblasters.
Hellblasters?
No, I'm kidding.
Volkite Dreadnoughts?
I really like Volkite Dreadnoughts, Classic Redemptors right now. It's always going to be chapter dependent. But those are definitely options that I like.
They fill such a unique role. There's nothing else with that crazy volume of fire from longer range. Otherwise, you would see it everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Hellblasters are actually close damage per points. They're actually very similar to Inceptors. Just other elements they really suffer in, like speed and defense.
John, how do you feel your Custodes Imperial Guard match up against Drukari?
I think that I am capable of taking the punch and I'm capable of killing them. I'm a little bit worried about the mission play. I think that's going to require some trickiness on my part, but it's not impossible.
Some cheeky Trajan Tanglefoots.
Cheeky Trajan Tanglefoots, some key use of stratagems. I think that if you have some good CP discipline and some really good planning, it's possible to win that game. But it's definitely gonna.
It's not easy.
I don't think anyone has like a confident matchup into Drukari right now. If I'm being honest, like I can't think of anyone who's like, yeah, no, I feel really good going into this game. Admech, I think Grey Knights.
Admech and Grey Knights might have
they've got
2 shouts.
They're not feeling bad. But
they also don't play the mission as well as Drukari, but they do kill Drukari extremely fast.
Yeah, and that's where you need to start. So it's doable. Those would be the armies I would look to personally.
Can the Judiciar increase the Temper Mortis ability range with Vox Spiritum Relic?
Unfortunately not. It is not an aura. I would probably take that if I could, if I'm being honest with you.
Especially in this context.
Alas, it is not.
Yeah, this going from 6 to 3 inch, just brutal.
Yep.
I mean, we saw the Judiciar all over the place, and now
suddenly he's just gone.
He's
literally
gone.
just disappeared.
Since Typhus has a master-crafted Man Reaper, does that make his damage 3 into 4?
No,
it's just
that's accounted in the.
Yeah, it brought him from damage 2 to damage 3.
Yep.
They call it mastercraft to make him seem special.
Mm-hmm.
He's Typhus. He should have a special.
Yeah, but I don't think mastercrafted actually means anything in the Dark Death Guard Codex.
No.
And he sure doesn't use Space Marine rules.
How do you think is the best way to fight Drukari with Death Guard?
I think you need to really rely on that Foul Blight spawn and your durability, because Dark Eldar are actually not particularly good at killing Death Guard. They're not terrible at it, but they're not amazing at it if you can shut off the rerolls. And I think turning off rerolls is definitely the way forward for Death Guard.
We're also not seeing as many of the mortal spam Drukari builds, which Death Guard really don't appreciate.
Yeah. But it's also very early in the Drukari meta,
so
so we may see those still. Just haven't yet.
Why Volkite instead of Plasma on your Dark Angel's Contemptor?
All about that range, quite frankly. 45 over 36 is a big deal.
Safety.
And the reliable number of shots. I have found that killing people within 24 to 36 inches is not the problem. I have 3 Talon Masters, and these Terminators have a lot of guns. It's those things that hover beyond that point that I'm a little more worried about.
Question for each of you. What is your current favorite 40k model kit based on the look alone? No rules bias, just interested. Silent King.
What? That's lame. The Silent King.
He's the king.
What a tool. Screw that guy. Alright.
Demon
No, I like the Demon Karen. But we're just going favorite. I think it's the Sisters of Battle Immolator.
Really?
Nah, Triumph of St. Catherine. Who am I kidding?
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking I like all the ornate, but and if you're doing that, you go Triumph. Yeah.
Yeah, she is a really good looking model. Didn't you also play Leviathan? Tell G-Dubs that they really need to nerf Iron Hands in a final tell them myself. Frankly, I tried long enough not to play Iron Hands. I was winning games with Tau over Iron Hands when they had the Broken Book and when they had
not my Iron Hands.
You had White Scars.
That's
that was because that trapping ability. But if I had the Farsight Enclaves rules, I think I would have been able to play into that no problem.
Yeah, you would have had a lot more game there.
So Marines obviously get the privilege of getting rules first. So I tried to play Tau, and I wanted to play Tau at LVO, but I already locked up best Tau. So at that point, it was I just want to win this to make sure Brohammer is best team, or at least do well enough. So John, myself, Ruben, Rich Martin, a lot of other Brohammer guys.
Yep.
All took Leviathan and wanted to ensure that we got best team.
Wow.
But Games Workshop, it was, if they just stuck with that second layer of nerfs and then didn't release the Chief Apothecary nonsense from the Psychic Awakening book.
This is the FOF.
Yeah, it was come on, can we just not keep giving Iron Hands broken stuff, please?
No. There's always more. There's always more.
So that really pushed it over the edge, and then we found the silliness of that build.
That's why I'm not that worried about Space Marines, even though I think Dark Eldar are terrible for them. It's worst case scenario, I'm waiting on a campaign book. It'll happen. Something will come back for the Marines.
What do you think it would take to make Tyranids top tier to rival Dark Angels and Sororitas?
They need a top. There's no single one thing. They need a top to bottom overhaul. Just straight up, I think.
Yeah, they have a similar problem with Tau data sheets where the units just don't do as much as they should.
No, yeah, there's not enough depth to anything. There's no single.
Some units are just stat lines, and then they're bad stat lines.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a stat line, you need to
at least be good.
And they're not even that. Not. There's not enough stratagems in the world to make bad stat lines good.
Yeah. How do you replace Demon Karens in a Tyranid list? I tried using Flyrants, but they felt like killing power just wasn't the same. Gene Tillers are wet noodles.
Alright. Are we going crazy here? Right? Let's go crazy. Raveners.
This is what I like to hear.
Raveners are basically... So they're not nearly as expensive as you think. It's a 3-wound dude with 4 attacks each. T4. You basically use a 9-man squad the same as you would use a classic Kraken Gene Stealer unit. It's the same thing. They're infantry, I think. They're either infantry or beasts, but they definitely move through walls. That much I know.
They need to.
They're very fast. They have a crap load of dice. They're fragile. They're a smaller profile than 20 Gene Stealers. And you use them in the exact same way. And they will shred.
How cheap are they?
It's 20-something points a model.
So not that cheap.
Not that cheap, but considering that it's like a Gene Stealer is 15, it's like, I think it's like I'll tell you what, we're gonna figure it out for you. But Raveners are my very preliminary. I want to do this, but I.
Speaking of the unit that I traded into Workfire a while last year, I had a bunch of Raveners.
Dang it!
Nick was like, "Who is ever gonna play?"
I would have told you to save them.
Poor Raveners.
Poor Raveners.
Somebody has those Raveners now.
Well, maybe I'll go check if Workfire still has them. Quick. I'm figuring out how much Ravener is, because I remember reading it and it wasn't that bad. Yeah, so a Ravener is 20 points a model. And if you give it one set of Rending Claws, it becomes 22 points a model. At 22 points a model, you're 2 more wounds than a Gene Stealer. And it's 15 versus 22, and like you're...
What kind of buffs do you... Are there Ravener-specific strats they got in Psychic Awakening?
No.
Or any buffs? No.
You're just trying to be cheap, man.
You're just trying to be cheap.
Trying to be cheap and hit hard. Like, you know what? You will kill an unlimited number of Drukari infantry with Raveners. As soon as you pop those boats.
Yeah.
Once you do that. That's the problem. But once you do that, you're good to go.
You got Hive Guard for that?
Hopefully, yeah. Pop boats, Raveners in.
6 Hive Guard? Or 12?
See, the second unit of Hive Guard is so much worse than the first. Because, like, one of them gets exploding 6s and it gets double shooting. And the other squad is like, well, we'll just
12
we'll
shots
just roll 12 dice. No explosions. Just doing our thing. So, it's hard, but no, honestly.
It helps you finish off things, though.
It does. It's not bad to have. It's still not bad. It's just
it's tough.
270 points.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's not the best. But Raveners, folks, don't sleep on it.
Preparing to square off versus Cabal Witch Cult Drukari this weekend with my Custodes. He has about as many Dark Lances as I have Custodes models. Should be in for a tough fight. Hopefully your Shadow Keepers, -1 strength.
Keep that Talamon alive.
Keep the Talamon alive.
Nothing else to do there.
Any updates to your sister's guard list from the podcast, John?
Ooh, I actually have been very tempted to bring that back in the context of Drukari. Because you know what? If anyone is going to just kill all the Drukari in line of sight every turn, that list had some guns.
It had guns, mortifiers.
It had guns. So I am actually very tempted to bring that one back. I've been kind of waiting because I really keep expecting them to announce a new Sisters Codex.
Yep.
So I've been putting some of that effort into other things. But I legitimately think that list is very, very good. And I'm very sorely tempted to just bust it on the table.
You could be running the Nundums.
Oh my god, Nundums and Mortifiers. At that point, I might as well throw some Sentinels in. Let's go all
in. Blade Guard or Vanguard vets?
Depends on the chapter. When in doubt.
Vanguard vets.
Yeah, there are some. I mean, like Dark Angels, obviously. Yeah. It's like, and then it's Blade Guard. But usually I like having some of each, but I start with Vanguard. If I only have one, it's Vanguard, but I like having both.
Welcome, Grazik Grazikson, to our Art of War membership. Thank you so much for your support. Hope you enjoy these Hangout and Hobbies. You'll get to rewatch them anytime you want, but you also get those sweet sub badges and emotes, and you are directly supporting the channel. So thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
The Heroic Intervention emotes? Everyone knows those are the best ones.
Heroic.
Everyone knows the Heroic Intervention is the best emote.
There really should be a Nick face right next to it.
Yeah, there should.
With Heroic and then Angry Nick. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. That's just accurate to real life. It's no longer a joke. We're just portraying facts.
Have you seen the Exorcist leak? The data sheet?
I have. It appears that it's, according to the pictures that have been circulating the interwebs, it appears that its guns are getting worse and it's going to toughness 7, but its multi-shot is going to damage 2. And you know what? That obviously sounds like a nerf, but if I'm being honest, if that just includes special rules like ignore line of sight, or if it gets cheaper, they could just totally be fine.
Yeah.
I don't like the Exorcist being 190 points. That's why I don't want one. I would rather have a toughness 7 Exorcist that's 150. I would take a toughness 7 Exorcist that's 150, even if its main missiles are only AP2 instead of AP3. So I'm not. Nothing there is disheartening. It's just you know what? They are changing what the Exorcist does, and I'm excited to see the final product there.
Where do I find the change that sisters get simulacrums for free? Can't seem to find it.
Well, that's because it's not actually anywhere. It's because simulacrums no longer have a price. GW does not simply tell you that simulacrums are free, they just remove them from the list of points.
Yep.
And then at top, it's like if this doesn't have points listed, that's because it's free. So they don't list it anywhere, is the answer to that question.
Well, we'll find out whenever sisters get their next book. If
That's
they're
true.
supposed to be free or not.
I bet they stay free.
Probably.
I would not be surprised at all. I don't think it's broken at all. It just lets the army use its mechanic.
I think what should happen is a lot of those pieces of war gear across the game should be free.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would agree 100%.
Like the random 5-point marker light on the sergeant of a breacher squad, it's just free.
Yeah, just throw it in there.
It already has limitations where it's a heavy weapon and you can't fire any other weapons if you shoot it. Like that's good enough.
I would agree with that.
So, or the guard with the regimental banner.
Oh my god, the regimental
So you can just
banner.
take the regimental banner, right?
Command
John?
squad should just have a regimental banner.
Right. You should only be able to take 2 special weapons and you get the regimental banner, right?
No. Go die. I don't want to hear this evil talk from you.
Hello, Richard and John. Curious if you are also playing the team games 6v6 or 8v8. We mainly have team tournaments in Europe, such as ETC, WTC format. John and I are both major fans of team events.
Best way to play the game.
We have been together at ATC and did really well, went undefeated there. Would have loved to play.
I have never lost while Richard's on my team.
No. And then we also went to Charity Hammer. We were undefeated there as well. So we actually have a really great team record.
Yep. So unfortunately, there have not been a ton of team tournaments in the United States. To my knowledge, there has not been one in over a year. However, in September, there is one happening. And I would bet any amount of money that Richard and I will be there on the same team.
Yep.
Any amount of money.
Probably Nick, but...
Probably Nick, but I wouldn't bet any amount of money on Nick. Like, I'd bet like $20 on Nick. But like, Richard, no problem. Write a check. Don't care.
I think those leaks mean sisters are after AdMech. Possibly. That's my guess. I think
That's
John's
a very
the same
reasonable assumption.
They haven't been previewing enough.
I just want them to say it.
Just tell us.
Yeah,
give us the next.
Just say it.
That was really nice at the end of last year when they just gave us.
Yeah, they were
here's
like,
the
hey,
next
just
three.
so you know, we've got like Dark Angels and Death Guard and Dark Eldar coming out. We're like, great, we know the next 3 books. Then they released all 3, and I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, yeah, AdMech. I'm like, and
is there a plan here? Are we just
like, what are we doing, guys? I'm gonna go grab a pot of gray.
Okay. What grade do you need?
Ashen gray.
Oh no, I don't have that.
It's supposed to be up here. Dawnstone, Ashen gray. That's what I like. Let's go Dawnstone too.
If you all switch to playing power level instead of points, they'll all be free already.
That, you know what? If we were in that power level meta, that is true. No lies detected.
Did you like the dialogue as being 14 points in the latest field manual printing?
14. You know what? Didn't notice that. Should have taken more. Clearly, I need more dialogue in my life. Just a good relic.
Is that the physical printing that it's messed up in?
Fantastic. That makes sense.
I'm playing a sisters list tomorrow that one of my gaming groups wrote up, and I'm using his army for it. Any recommendations for a newbie to sisters?
Without knowing what the actual list is.
I think just the overall things that are good in 40k in general, like command point discipline. Sisters have some really powerful stratagems.
Same thing, just Miracle Ice Discipline.
Miracle dice discipline as well with them. Don't just throw it away on things that aren't necessary to your overall game plan.
Mm-hmm.
They should be getting you points and doing other things.
Yep.
Ensuring a key unit survives, that type of thing. Sisters are built on their stratagems and their miracle dice.
I mean, to be fair, Nick didn't even use Miracle Dice in your game yesterday.
Yeah, he never used it.
Not a single one. He finished with so many Miracle Dice, yeah. Definitely didn't finish with 0.
Did you believe him when he...
I heard the words he said. I was aware of the words that he said. I will not elaborate past that point.
What you talking about?
How many Miracle Dice did he use yesterday, Nick?
Nick never uses miracle dice.
I didn't. They didn't matter in that game. When did I even use miracle dice?
To pass saves?
Pass the saves. Everything.
Pass leadership. Make charges.
Advance.
Advances. It's like he didn't use any.
I didn't use any.
Nick has very selective memory.
All I remember is I had a pile of 2s.
It's because he used the rest.
No, what you used them for is the 1 CP strat to turn those 2s into 3. Every single shooting phase.
Didn't even use them.
Didn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
What about new Orc Riders in May and Sisters in June? Could be possible.
Yeah, I wish GW would confirm. I personally want... You know what? Orc players deserve some love. So, like, I want Sisters before Orcs. However, I will not be mad or disappointed if Orcs get rules before Sisters, because Orcs need it more than Sisters do. Hands down.
Yeah.
So, like, I won't be mad.
Orcs, funnily enough, they have very good traits. They have, like, 9th edition traits.
Oh, yeah.
Their traits are very strong. Their stratagems are fairly lackluster.
They have a few.
They have a few, but not, like... They don't have a plethora of 1 CP really useful strats, like a lot of the modern ones do.
Just use a couple datasheet improves.
Some of the data sheets are pretty lackluster.
Well, tell you what, I actually forwarded an Orc list to our group chat the other day. So I really want to get Nick to play on stream. Apparently some people have been having some success with the Orc buggy-based list. I believe, Seth Oster of the Dangly Boys podcast has been doing quite well with Orcs. So I personally would love to see us use some of those Orcs.
Definitely.
So we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Do you agree with Goonhammer's placement of Necrons in Tier 3 of their recent tier list?
No.
Same list as Imperial Knights, Ultramarines, and Grey Knights? No.
Alright, first of all, put all of those in Tier 2. Get out of here. Imperial Knights in Tier 3. Who hasn't been stomped enough by a Megara? I will fly to them. I will not fly to them. But I will post about it on the internet.
No, I think all those factions should be lifted up to that second tier. I think it's Tier 3 and 4. There's only a couple factions down there, really. I think a lot of stuff is around that tier.
More than half of the army of the game is above average, which is a weird thing to say out loud.
Yeah.
But more than half the game is, like, in that.
And then there's a couple factions that just have some silly broken stuff.
Yeah. But not many.
Not many.
Which is good.
And it's not the Iron Hands where it's literally unbeatable.
Yeah, no, nothing. Yeah. I complain about Dark Eldar about as much as the next man and a little bit more. They're not Iron Hands. They're just really good.
They're just more efficient than you.
Yeah.
Their stuff is cheaper.
They're just better than you.
They're better than you, but not by I can't kill you.
Yeah. At least you can kill Dark Eldar, which makes it feel a lot better.
Yeah. My whole army's still there on turn 5. This is awesome.
Yep.
Surprise Chaos Space Marine Codex is not in the first batch of 9th edition releases. Would seem like the natural pick as one of the oldest and the bad guys of 40k. Yeah, I thought like them Grey Knights were one of those first couple ones, along with Space Marines and AdMech. So it's weird we're not seeing them come out.
Yeah.
They've been needing rules.
Yeah. Maybe they're getting campaign love because in the lore of the Book of Rust, Chaos Space Marines feature quite heavily. There's a Black Legion warband and a Word Bears and Alpha Legion warband that are like doing serious things in the Book of Rust. So maybe they just don't have a lot of models in the queue, or maybe they have models in the queue that are not ready yet. Yeah. And maybe in the second book they'll get Chaos Space Marines.
Maybe.
All right, so tell you what. Here's my secret theory. We're going deep into the lore here. So in the Book of Rust, there's a Gene Slayer cult. Like it's like all the Chaos Legions coming from the warp
is
around
every
Metallica.
Faction, or just most of them in this place, this Book of Rust?
Most of them aren't in it. Like they don't even mention like a lot of the like Eldar, like the Dark Eldar in it, I guess. But so like big Chaos invasion, then like there's like a bunch of like cult uprising at the same time. The Alpha Legion's like been orchestrating this for a year, doing Alpha Legion, mustache and top hat stuff. And then, like, one of the planets that they, like, had a cult on, just nothing happens. And they're like, they kind of, like, do the side eyes, they're like, jump out and stab them now, dead silence. Just, like, normal Imperial world, nothing's happening. So they just land there, whole planet's Gene Slayer cult. They, like, hunted down, like, the Alpha Legion cult and just wiped them out without any word escaping. It's like, oh, dang. But, they, like, summon Demon Incursion, end up knocking out the Gene Slayer cult, and they specifically mention that they don't kill the Patriarch. They, like, get, like, 3 different, like, Chaos heroes, like of course, because, like, the Sorcerer and some Keeper that they made up a name for by, like, having a cat run over the keyboard. And they capture this Patriarch. And it just, like, trails off, like, first some diabolical ritual. And, like, all right, what the heck do you need a Patriarch for? Like, what are you doing that you need a live Patriarch? The only thing I can think of is summoning a Tyranid invasion. Because, like when, like, the Gene Slayer cult, like, in their lore, when it grows, like, the Patriarch becomes the psychic beacon that draws the Hive Legion. The Patriarch is what does that. So, like, I'm thinking, like, what if their plan is to capture this Patriarch and just spend a while battering down Metallica, and then just boom, like, Keeper of Secrets, like, put some warp energy into this Patriarch, summons a Hive fleet directly into Metallica, and they just leave for a little bit. Then the Chaos is just like, we're out, and have fun. Like, that'd be Trolley. That would be Alpha Legion.
Yeah.
So, like, what if Chaos Space Marines and Tyranids, two armies that have had absolutely no indication of rules coming soon, but God, I want them to, what if they get love in part 2 of the campaign book?
Could be.
Because, like, all of, like, the 2 and 3 part campaigns, like, the first book sets up the factions in the second one.
Yeah.
So, like, I just, come on, look at this guy. Just let me use him. Like, that's all I want. So I'm crossing my
Then the
fingers
Tau come
here.
in and save the day, and it's beautiful.
No, I don't think they were mentioned in the lore, actually.
No,
I think it was specifically mentioned. It was, like, page 79, little asterisk at the bottom, and the tower wiped out. I think I remember that one.
They're going to be the heroes once again.
It's like Inquisitorial Dispatch. It appears the Tau Empire has been wiped out, sir. Who? I forgot. Yeah, they don't matter.
See, that's Imperial propaganda. They know Farsight's on the horizon.
No, who is that? He's gonna die in another 20 years. He's an old fish. Fish out of water.
What is the best... will you be updating the Art of War tier list anytime soon?
You know what?
That's
That's something we should be doing soon.
I feel like in the summer we get a couple more books out and
Yeah.
then rethink the tier list.
Yeah, I think you know what? That's a good point. We should do that soon.
Yeah.
Strap Nick and I in a room. Make him defend why he thinks Dark Eldar aren't completely OP.
They're just A tier. They're really good A tier.
Yeah, like, get out of here.
What is the best way for White Scars to deal with Sisters Drukari and other MSU that really punches up well?
You see, I think White Scars can actually have good play into Sisters.
Sisters lack the OBSEC.
Drukari, they do. Drukari, I think it's OBSEC and MSU, and you lean into it as well and hope that your stuff is OBSEC and theirs isn't, and that can be used to play the mission. Now, is that a reliable plan? No. But we are going to try it tomorrow in the Worm, and we will work on that plan. I have not played White Scars into Drukari yet, so I don't want to spout out words of wisdom as the gospel. But we are going to try it, and we will see how effective it is or isn't. But I'm gonna say it is. It's totally gonna work. My plans never fail, other than when they do.
In regards to the silly broken stuff, what would you consider the most broken, silly broken thing in the game right now? Is the Razor Flail Succubus.
Razor Flail Succubus, not even a question. It's like the
made 40
poor
attacks
Guilliman.
this activation.
Yeah, she only made 38 swings on Guilliman and did 12 damage to him. Yeah. All of this was perfectly average rolls. Siegler did not roll below average. I didn't roll above
I failed
average.
3 saves both times.
Yeah, which is like, honestly, I think it was supposed to be more. But I was like, this is fine. Like, this is fair and balanced. She is the single most oppressive model combo in the game, and it's not even close. She is crazy.
Yep.
Average is 10 dead Vanguard veterans when she swings, by the way. It's like, why am I doing this?
Maybe if Chaos Space Marines have a late edition codex, that means it might be a stronger book. It also might be just because they have such a sheer amount of rules that they've built up over the last 3 years. They got the Black Legion rules, they got the the Renegade chapters, you have the normal chapters and their supplement expansions, like Ember's Children. They have so many rules that they've added. I think it's going to be hard to kind of narrow that down, or they're going to just expand to like Space Marine supplements, and maybe that's here's a month or two of chaos.
Tell you what, I would absolutely love to see... Alright, so I'll call my shot here. If we get an Iron Warriors supplement, I'll play Iron Warriors. Iron Warriors are my favorite Chaos Legion. They're awesome. It's one of those things that's been like my forever fluff project that I've never fully gotten done. I had an Iron Warriors army back in high school. Unfortunately, it was not my highest standard of hobby work, so it's something that I mostly sent off to Warpfire, but kept a lot of like the bits and stuff I'd ordered for.
Yep.
So like I would be very willing to do an Iron Warriors army, and I would love to see that be something that's worth literally any amount of time being spent on. Any amount of stuff, I don't know, because it's just not right now. But I would love to see that happen.
Just in time for the second Marine Codex. Not wrong.
You think the third one won't be out by then?
Yep.
Heyo.
What are your favorite GSC characters?
Oh, Sanctus. Nick was reminding me yesterday. He was talking about his Kellermorphs. How he used to like 2 Kellermorphs. And I was thinking like, man, why didn't I ever take 2 Kellermorphs? I'm like, oh yeah, I had a Sanctus, and my Sanctus was a god. It's like, that's why. No, the Sanctus is my favorite GSC character.
The Biophagus is mine, because he has the Alchemicus.
Oh my god, the bottle shank?
The Alchemist Familiar is so funny.
He's a baddie. No questions asked.
The Familiars are my favorite part of GSC.
They are pretty cool.
How's that, working on the base work there?
Yep, just doing some base work on this barbed hair duel. He is almost done. I just want to have one of them like done so we can put it on the shelf.
You know what's going to look like a genius move?
What's that?
Is when Hive Fleet Behemoth gets by far the best rules.
Oh,
in
dude,
next
the
Tyranid
Hive
Codex.
Fleet Behemoth supplement? Can't wait. Lay it on me, Chief.
Just the best Tyranid rules that have ever existed.
God.
It's like we were
Give it to me.
on the point here.
We can only hope.
Khorne Demonkin. That was my favorite army in 7th edition.
I remember those days.
I would really like to see Khorne Demons on the table because I think they're iconic demons.
They are.
And they're
really cool.
are by far the worst.
That's true. I have no argument.
Do you think the Silent King is too risky to take in the current meta? I think so. I think tough matchups into Drukari and into armies like Death Guard, Dark Angels, little too difficult. The new codexes really are pushing the Silent King builds, away.
Is it the wayside?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You do like your king.
I do like the Silent King a lot, but I think that style of buffing these big warrior breaks is getting a lot tougher to play now.
I would agree with that.
You don't need to buff 10 minions with the Silent King. It's the big units you want.
Mm-hmm. How's your bomber coming along? Looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for some shade paint to dry, but got it up to a standard where I can play it on stream, no problem.
Awesome. What was a good place to start?
Send off to Warfire, imagining all the 40k minis on the shelf, talking Toy Story style about the ones that never came back. Those poor models.
The Kruchok's rider is like in a beat up packaging, like GW 1999.
I sent the old metal Krutox rider a while ago.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
He was definitely not an agile brute.
Why would you say that about him?
Because he was metal.
He was trying his best.
He was trying.
He's trying his best out there.
What are we thinking is the golden number of Hellions in a unit?
I think 10. I don't like getting Manticored. Just like, oops, all 12s.
Max shots.
Yeah, I'm...
Or airburst. John, the airburst. Think of the airburst.
I'm not thinking about the airburst. I try not to, actually. Yeah,
that would be
It would
devastating.
be devastating as well. I'm not crazy on that.
They're at least T4 though, right?
They are T4, yes.
Okay, so 4 is ruling. Did they used to be T3?
They were T3.
Oh my god.
They stayed the same points and got like an extra wound and toughness, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually...
I had never seen a Hellion on the table.
It had been a long time. They were actually pretty decent in like 6th. Back when Duke Siliscus was around. A named character who didn't have a model. Those were good days.
Maybe they just aren't sure what they want to do with Chaos Space Marines currently in the design space, whether to dip into Legions like Space Marines or continue with the current design. That's probably true. There's so much chaos going on there.
Yeah. I honestly think Godmarks should be free and actually impactful.
Yeah, I agree with that. Same for demons. You run a pure Khorne demons list, you're getting a bunch of pure Khorne.
I would actually love if all of the Khorne stuff is not demon locked, it's just Khorne locked.
Yeah.
I think World Eaters and Demons should get the same buffs as pure demons.
Yeah.
That's me.
What rules would you think would work for a Hive Fleet Tiamat?
Ooh, Hive Fleet Tiamat. Honestly, I think Kronos is the closest to Tiamat because they're a more defensive-minded Hive Fleet. They're actually known to like conquer planets and hold them, not just try and like eat it and move on. Mm-hmm. So like they're more defensive-minded, so the rerolling ones when stationary work, and also they have a really big Shadow in the Warp effect. So I definitely think Tiamat and Kronos are very closely aligned in rules.
Love y'all's content. Can you explain how you guys do the King of the Streamhouse games? So we were running an RTT among the 4 of us. Each of us put 2 lists forward, and then we randomly paired them into a bracket.
Yep. Nick actually drew them out of my cheesehead hat.
Yep, Nick drew them out of the hat. He got to draw. The first game that he drew was his Drukari, and then he drew Dark Angels as the opponent, and we were like, yes.
We weren't completely like yes, but it's like screw it, we're gonna do this.
Let's put him into the top match. Well, funnily enough, the 4 number 1 lists that we each submitted all are on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah, that was just random chance, but it did work out that way.
So, what we think are our number 1 lists, but not like any of them are bad.
No.
I think if we had to pick between the 2 lists we submitted, we'd probably pick that one.
Yeah, as
to bring to an event. Yeah. So it's single elimination. Once a list loses, it's out, and the other one moves on. and it's going to lead. So tomorrow we have my Admech versus Mark's Chaos Soup.
Yes.
The following week we have Dark Angels versus Drukari, and the John's Imperium Soup list with Custodius and Guard versus Mark's Death Guard list. And then the following weekend we will have 3 stream games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to round out the RTT.
That's going to be exciting. Very exciting. I'm super pumped for that, honestly.
We got Matt with a £5 super chat. Hey guys, Richard, how would you like to see the marker lights change in a new codex? I would like them to be a token system. You just get them. You pay the points for the marker lights, and you, depending on how many points you paid for marker lights, you get a certain number of tokens each turn, and you can apply them for certain buffs. No more linking it to your ballistic skill. Unless Tau go to BS3, then I'd be more, fine with a similar system. But I would do it as a token system. This is supposed to be one of their unique rules. It should actually be effective and useful, and you want to build your list around them.
Yep.
Right now, I try and build as few marker lights as possible into my list because they're awful. You saw it. I actually had a decent number of marker lights. Nick didn't even kill the Pathfinders until the final turn. That's not really where you want to be. Or actually, the Shazui of the Pathfinder squad survived. So, funnily enough.
Good for him.
So, I really would like marker lights to actually be useful. And then I think the buffs need to be much better. The Secret Missile thing, that should be just the first one, in addition to something else. And then I would like to see extra AP. Through Unity can become something else, and put that as like the second one. I would like to see ignoring cover is great, no problems there. The penalty, the ignoring the advanced penalty and the heavy penalty, that needs to be something different now. So, and it's marker light 4, so it should actually be quite impactful. So maybe that becomes +1 to hit, and then the next one is reroll 1s to wound, or something like that. But they should be relatively impactful, and they should be useful. That you want to build your list around them. Right now, it's BS4 or hitting on 5s with the marker drones. That's just not going to cut it.
Yep.
There's no consistency to marker lights, and that's not where you want to be for a special army rule. So
I would agree to that.
that's what I would like to see. Thanks so much for your super chat. However, you were also one of the top 2 super chatters from last month, so please let us know what you want to see as a stream match, because after the RTT ends, we are going to be putting on the stream match for yourself and for Matt O.
You know what we haven't done in a while? Pure Guard.
Pure Guard?
I would like to play Pure Guard soon.
Okay, we can make it happen. Let's see what Nick always talks down about the Guard.
He does always talk down on my Guard. I'm sick of it.
So let us know, Matt. What are you thinking for matchups? And if there are particular options you want us to run. Do you pick combat drugs before a tournament or each round?
I believe it is written on your army list and does not change it between rounds. That is my understanding. It's chosen at the same time as the warlord traits, as far as I can tell.
I also miss the Drukari special characters, in particular Vect, especially the Incubi with trench coats.
Oh,
that was by far the coolest part of Drukari. Just those guys hanging off Vect's party bus. Those Incubi were awesome. After your first experience with the Drukari Codex, what do you think is the place in the tier list?
S.
They are the best codex in the game right now.
I would agree.
Not by a silly margin, but they have a solid lead, I think.
Yeah.
Where I think I'm comfortable putting them as clear number 1.
Yep. Yeah, I'm already very comfortable putting Drukari as the best codex in the game.
I might have missed something, but where do we see you win with the giveaways? If you go into any of our RTT lists, so on this very YouTube channel, you can click on any of the RTT list videos or on any of the game streams that we've done, like yesterday's round 1 of the RTT, and it's that second link. The first link is to join our channel membership,
and then Gleam campaign.
Yep, and then below that it says 40 Art of War 40k giveaway and a link to our Gleam campaign. Yep. On there, you sign in with your account, and you just start following us, liking, subscribing, etc. on all the different social media for ourselves, Art of War, and for our sponsors, and you get entries for each thing that you do.
Absolutely, and of course, there are quite a few links spread around our social media as well. So if you can't find it, go to any of our social media pages. You can find it right there.
Yep, and there's tons of great prizes. There's exclusive coaching calls with Nick or myself, or John and Brad Chester. There's War Room access. We also have, exclusive Big Bear 3D terrain set. We're going to have table war mats, 3d6 objective markers and tokens. We've got some vouchers from Warpfire and Indominus box set. We've also got Army Painter Mega Paint Set and some wet palettes, like the one John is using right now.
Like the one I'm using right now.
And we got Golden Globe Gaming, which is our paint sponsor. They are commission painting our Drukari army right now that Nick is going to be using, and doing a $100 voucher for a character model painted very specially. So
I want that one.
Definitely check out all those prizes and more on the Gleam campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super
some like almost 50 prizes. So
there's a lot of chances to win, actually. Yeah.
What do you think is the most fun army to play at the moment?
Sisters of Battle.
That's very subjective.
That's true.
For sure. Because people like different styles.
Mm-hmm.
But John, you're going to say Sisters?
I'm going to say Sisters.
I like my Tau army. I think it's a lot of fun to play. But part of the fun for me playing 40k is the challenge of it. I like when pretty much you just have to outplay every opponent. I like that feeling.
Yeah.
That's why I like playing Tau for so long in 8th. So I don't like walking in with Leviathan, where it's just like I'm gonna win this matchup. I already know how it goes. I don't have to really think very hard about it. It's a thinking man's.
I 100% agree with that. But I just think Sisters have the most options at the table, and I like all games not being different. That's why I'm trying to change up my Dark Angels so that it's not that kind of game. But I think Sisters are very adaptable at the table and give you a lot of room to, as you say, change the game based on the opponent.
Mono guard into Drukari. How does that look?
Oh boy, I hope I go first. I got a lot of indirect and a lot of guns. Unfortunately, I'm not particularly tough and don't like being touched.
Advance and charge on turn 2 is just brutal if they're in the middle of the table.
Yep, gives me 1 turn to shoot them all instead of 2. So that's definitely going to be a tough matchup. No bones about it. But it's not unwinnable, just uphill.
Yeah.
I actually really want to try things like Valkyries to have a much better chance into Dark Elder.
After the other day, we need more bubble chuckers on the channel. I would love to see Nick run a bubble chucker list.
He really should.
I love weapons when they're strength 2, AP 6, flat 6 damage.
Oh yeah, strength 1, damage 6. Like, oh, give me more of this. It's like I didn't want your transhuman anyway.
What a silly unit. But that's very orcs. What's each of your favorite 40k stories from the Codex's campaign books?
All right, so there was what was it? There was a Tyranid incursion on a random planet that happened to have Grey Knights on it. And the Grey Knights were there like in the middle of like locking up some ancient artifact that was like suppressing a demonic incursion. And the Tyranids did not listen to their requests to not, mess around, and they ate all the Grey Knights. And then there was a massive demonic incursion in the middle of this planet while the Tyranids are like just finished conquering humans. They're like getting into like let's eat mode. And the Tyranids reacted to the incursion like it was like a rival predator. And there's just like a really cool 2-page section of fluff in the current Tyranid Codex about how the Tyranids and the demons fought, and I just thought it was amazing. There's also some really good art. Like there's like a bloodthirster with like his whip wrapped around like the neck of a Carnifex, like pulling him closer so we can axe him. And then I think like the Tyranids end up like just literally eating the Warp Rift with mass zoanthropes just shutting it down. And then, as it starts to shrink, 3 Trigons, scoop up the Bloodthirster and throw him in. Because, they just, couldn't kill these things. They're, push him back in. They get back in there.
I would say in the new Necron Codex, the lore on Zarek, and his control over the Catan and how he did that.
Yeah.
Especially chaining the burning
one. The burning one
to his dais.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of that.
That's pretty badass. I'll give you that one.
But they have, a whole... ancient text type of script about what happened with all the Catan and how.
Oh yeah, I actually really did. I read that as well.
It's really cool. It's really well done.
We should ask Nick that question.
He is not. What do you think he says?
Chaos Orcs. No. I
think he says something from an older codex. It's been a very, very long time since.
He's like, I liked how Typhus beat up that guy.
Yeah.
Because, you can't stop Typhus. Typhus is too good. That would be
something generic like that.
Extremely.
What is your least favorite armies to play as personally?
Ooh. That's tough. I mean, I just like playing 40k. Real talk, I don't like Tau's playstyle that much. But also, the more aggressive Tau, I could get behind. I could get behind more aggressive Tau.
It's really mission playing.
Yeah. But, I like punching people.
You saw those full rerolls to hit and wounds.
Yeah, like, but I want you to actually use them. You never use them. You just talk.
I did use it in the last game.
Once.
I wish if I didn't waste CP on breachers, I would have been able to do the
exactly
three of charged mortals.
That's what I need in my life. All the mortal ones.
My least favorite army is to play Chaos of wide varieties. I just
don't like
the
Nurgle
aesthetic
Chaos.
of
Nurgle
Chaos. Nurgle Chaos, like that old Smite spam list with the Nurgle demons.
Very good army, but not me.
Not one I would want to play. Orcs, I also don't want to run 180 boys on the table.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind hordes because my Tyranids, I've run Tyranid hordes at various points. I do like Tyranid hordes.
Any thoughts on getting a Stampa on the field?
You know what? We should get a Stampa.
Do
it for Val. We don't actually have a Stampa.
We don't have a Stampa, but we have what's the Forge World one?
The Garg. Well, we don't have a Gargant, but we should. Like we have Mark's conversion.
Oh, we have Mark's converted Stampa.
We should. You know what? A Stampa is actually like not that much money. I was shocked when I went and looked at how many dollars a Stampa was. A Stampa is barely more than the Silent King. It's 180, and the Silent King's 160. I'm oh, that's not even bad. Yeah. We should get the custom lift to drop a Stampa. It's got dual wielding custom lift to drop. Thing's crazy. It's 3D 3 shots, AP, a million damage flat 4. Oh.
That's actually scary.
It's actually pretty good.
Is it hit on 5s?
No, it's on 4s, I think. Yeah.
Because it's led by Gratz.
They might hit on 5s.
I think they hit on 5s.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not great.
It's not amazing, but it's also really cute. Oh no, it hits on 5s, but then you give it more DACA, and the Evil Sons dude gives it rerolls to hit.
Yeah.
And it's oh. And then suddenly it's no, this is actually a lot of hits.
Remember Mark with the Coptus?
The Coptus.
It's alright, so it's 40 shots, hitting on 5s, full rerolls, more DACA, and all of a sudden there were 50 hits.
More than 50.
How is this happening?
Yeah.
If you could update one model kit in the game, which would you choose?
Plastic Lictor.
Plastic Lictor?
Plastic Lictor.
I think the Lictor actually looks reasonable. It doesn't look horrible.
It doesn't look horrible, but I just want it to be cooler.
I would say the Avatar of Cain.
It's not a bad choice.
It desperately needs
not
it.
a bad choice.
The Avatar is actually cool.
No, hold on. Mutilators.
No, who cares?
Look at them.
The Avatar is actually cool.
The Avatar's just Striking Scorpions, though, also need some love.
Striking Scorpions. I can get behind the Aspect Warriors.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Richard, you are the worst person I know. Dante.
No, Dante's never getting updated, John. He's gone.
No.
He's gone from our hearts and minds.
Dante!
He got a new title. He's gone.
Dante!
I would love for Dante, but I just don't see it.
Ugh. Dante's already dead to you?
He's
That's
dead
so
to
sad.
me. Brother Corbulo.
Oh, man. Brother Corbulo.
You don't talk about Harlequins that much. I believe they are still top tier, really fun to play. Minus versus Raiders with trophies plus Incubi list. What are your thoughts on it? They are still good. You saw it against the Triple Tan list we played a couple weeks ago.
They're definitely still good. I think that they just don't hang with Dark Eldar is the problem. I feel like they are trying to do very similar things, and one of the armies is better at it.
Yeah.
It's not Harlequins. I also think Harlequins drop off a lot when you get practice against them.
Yeah. John and I don't struggle against Harlequins, so we're not overawed by
Harlequins. I know what they do.
I just go in and I got a good matchup.
Yeah. I know that's the thing is it's hard. The first couple times I played Harlequins, I felt like I was
especially the
busting my butt. The new Second Awakening, of course.
Not Second Awakening, White Dwarf.
Yeah, it felt like I was busting my butt, and then after those first couple times, I just kept getting easier and easier every time I played them.
It was like playing TSC when they first came out. All the traits
it felt OP, but then as you played, and just all right, this is okay.
Yeah, you just need to be sharp.
Yep.
But they are still definitely strong. They got speed.
They're definitely still
the mission well.
They don't.
Great strats.
Great strats, yeah.
Demon Karens are impossible to find stateside these days. What else could fit in that role? Old One Eye?
Raveners. It's not the same role at all. It's not even close to the same role. Old One Eye is the closest answer I got, and that makes me sad. Old One Eye, folks. You know what we need? We just need to get 24 more Raveners. I will paint every Ravener if we get 27 Raveners.
Oh, here we go with Mad John. You're going to love this. Can I get a Valhallans versus Genestealer Cult game? My favorite books are the CFS Kane novels, so let's see his regiment on the table and versus an army that's not getting much love as of late. Guard into GSC.
All right. Which one does Nick have to play? Actually, who do you want to play those armies?
Who do you want to play those armies?
This is open.
You get to choose.
I love both of those. I'd be happy to be included.
That's exciting. I
but
wish
also,
we had Valhounds because they look so cool. If we
we can ask friends.
Do we have friends who have Valhounds?
See, I know Colin has a full metal Valhalla army, but he's kind of far away.
Yeah.
So we're not getting that.
Also, it's metal, and that's going to
It's
be
also,
expensive.
I don't want to ship that. We could ask around to see if anyone owns Valhallans locally.
All right.
Jason owns like every single army. It's like maybe
I could get behind it if we can get some actual Valhallans.
If we can get actual Valhallans, if not, we can play normal guard as Valhallans. I'd be happy to.
Yeah. Could John expand on how Valkyries help the Drukari matchup, and what does he put in them?
Scions.
Lots of shots.
Lots of shots. So, bottom line, to beat Dark Eldar, you need to kill the boats immediately before they're inside of you, is what I think. And if you fly up a Valkyrie, drop Scions out 5 inches away from the opponent, you rapid fire a bunch of guns into them, like first rank fire, here's 40 las gunshots, strength 4. That's enough to kill all the Incubi in the world. So if you can pop the boats with indirect fire, then the Valkyries are actually good at killing infantry. And or if you drop like plasma out and they go and they kill the boats. Mm-hmm. And then again, infantry comes out, putting just a Valkyrie with 2 heavy bolters, a multi-laser, and 2 rocket pods. That's 2d6 plus 6 strength 5 AP 1 shots. That's good enough to kill witches right there. Like even through a lightning fast, that's enough to take a 10-girl squad and cut it down.
Yeah.
Like you're cutting it in half there. And then they get their morale problems, and it's just not the threat it used to be. And I think you really need to be able to deliver that opening punch to Dark Eldar, because if you take the first hit, you're just done.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is actually going to work, but, you got to try somewhere.
You do have to try.
I'm utterly unwilling to not try. Leave it at that.
Fusion blades need to be a war gear option, not a relic. I agree with you. Also, the honor gauntlet.
That should be a war gear item.
Yeah,
100%. Everyone gets an honor gauntlet.
Yep.
Make it more. Just don't take away the one attack thing. Just make it a thing.
Yep.
I'd accept a relic if it just made attacks.
Yep. Makes a certain number of attacks.
Sure. Why not? Right? That'd be adorable.
I would actually run them because I've tried running the fusion blades at least.
Tried so hard.
I tried. Do you think smite spam, mortal wound spam in general is making a comeback?
I don't.
Not really. Since Thousand Suns and Grey Knights lost their ability to just smite on lives, really haven't seen that much smite spam. You've seen TJ Lanigan's Magnus plus Lord of Change and that stuff, but it's still not spamming it really. It's a good amount of mortals.
But not spamming.
But not, It's not I'm popping off like 6-7 smites a turn.
No, I think those days are gone.
Yeah.
And I do not miss them, to be clear.
Yep. As an Eldari player, I'm here to say Drukari are fair and balanced. My time of being oppressed is gone.
Yeah, that month was really hard for you Eldari players.
Shed a tear for the Eldari players, please.
I will do no such thing.
Is it worth adding Thunderhammers or Power Fists to Vanguard vets in White Scars over Pure Lightning Claws for dealing with T8 in late game? Find my tank killing is usually gone around turn 3.
I think a solitary Thunderhammer on the Sergeant is not a bad thing to have. However, I personally make Corsair Khan my anti-tank because he just makes everything else into anti-tank. That +1 to wound with full rerolls over is real good. But if you find yourself needing a little bit of extra, I would say a Sergeant Thunderhammer is a good place to be.
My friend is kit bashing 2 with the Tyrannifex kits, or find someone with a 3D printer for your Dema Karens.
I've seen some really cool kit bashes.
Yeah, I've seen some cool kit bashes too.
Yeah.
It is that good. It is worth.
If you're playing Tyranids, you need to own 2 Dema Karens.
Do you guys use the Inquisition models much? If so, which ones do you recommend? We have occasionally used them.
I like Kyria Draxus a lot.
Draxus is cool. The basic Xenos Inquisitor to get the 5-up CP regen.
Codiaz is also kind of a baddie.
Codiaz is not bad. I've ran Eisenhorn in a game, and then Mark killed him before I could summon the Demon Host.
It's just disrespectful.
It was so disrespectful. But the Admech ended up taking that one. But you usually see them put into armies like Admech, just open up a Psychic secondary, give you CP regen if you don't have it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're not like I really need to start including Inquisitor.
No, not at all.
Yeah. The other Inquisition models, you're really not seeing.
No, it's just a solo Inquisitor as an ally is the most that you would ever really see.
Yeah.
Or use.
What's the best GSC list you could make? Well, we might see John making that GSC list if he's playing the GSC versus Nick's Valhallans.
That's
true. What Matt wants.
Or I'm playing the Valhounds and Nick's GSC. I mean, we got options there.
Nick is He won Best GSC in 2019.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Yeah.
He did. It was my second consecutive year getting second GSC to a different Nick. It's like, just never took them Delvio was the problem. I always was in first place, then didn't take them Delvio and ended up second. It's like, okay.
Definitely Nick for the guard. If John's keen, we'll be happy to see him swear loyalty to the four-armed emperor.
There
we have it.
Oh my goodness.
Mick on the Valhounds. I can't wait to see this list.
This is going to be great. I'm very excited for this one.
Petrov's pistol is their relic?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
That's a good relic.
Send in the next wave, folks. They actually have a really good order. Lets you shoot in combat.
Ooh, I do like that.
Yep. That is not a bad place to be.
All right, I am excited for this matchup, Matt. We are going to make it happen. So after the stream RTT ends, that following week, this will be one of the games.
Guard versus GSC. Oh, I'm thrilled. Thrilled to see it.
What else you got working on over there, John?
Oh, I'm just finishing up the basin on this.
Some Agrex Earthshade.
Agrex Earthshade, just for the Earth. It just makes everything better.
Picked up some extra from Warpfire, so we are loaded up on Agrex.
You can never have enough. That's just a fact.
How often does Nick walk around in his house coat? All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
It's incredible, actually.
It's just how he lives.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop him.
No, God help you if you try. All right. I think this Barter duel is done.
It is looking quite good. I love the highlighting on there.
Yep.
The Tyranid, the dark carapace with the blue.
Yeah, just light blue right on the edges. Nice bright red carapace. Really like the way this one came out. Yep. This one's going on the shelf.
Looking very good.
Bump, 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 bump.
Bio Tyrant.
The Bio Titans.
I'm still waiting for this, but it's pretty much good to go for the stream game tomorrow, which I'm excited about. We got Admech versus Chaos Soup. Mark's got his Noise Marines, got Mortarion. Should be an exciting matchup.
Absolutely.
Lots of firepower, lots of defense. Mark's got Honor of the Prince charges all over the place.
Really looking
Gonna need some Cerberus Raiders there.
Yep. That's what they're there for, though.
They are there for that. So excited to see how that matchup goes. That is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on our YouTube channel. Match 2 of the Streamhouse RTT. And then coming up on Thursday, on the afternoon game in the War Room, that is Drukari, Nick's latest Drukari list versus John's White Scars. Top tier matchup in the War Room. Hope to see you there. In addition, of course, we are running that Gleam campaign. So tell your friends, tell everybody about it. Tell your coworkers, tell your pets. Get in there on this giveaway.
Tell your pets.
We got tons of prizes, over $3,000 worth of prizes from Art of War and our sponsors. Check it out right below in any of our list videos or the previous game stream. Gleam campaign. Click on there. Go ahead and log into your account and start clicking on all the different links for our social media, our sponsors, and for each one that you do, you get an entry. Over 50 prizes, some really good ones in there. Exclusive coaching calls, War Room membership, product from all our different sponsors. Really great. So
absolutely fantastic.
Hope to see you supporting that, and hope to see you tomorrow.
Yes, I'm ready for it.
All right. So long, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Bye.